I'm down in Cannes in the old port, and I've walked along here many times looking at these fabulous big super yachts, and I always wondered whether I'll ever get the chance to have a look on a proper full-on tri-deck super yacht. And today is that day, because I've been granted access to Zozo. This is a Sunseeker 131. Now this is super yacht royalty, a full-on tri-deck proper super yacht. This I am very excited about, and this I think you will need to see. So this is the boat. This is Ian, he's the first officer, and he's kindly arranged for me to come on board. Hello Ian.
Hi Nick.
Thank you very much.
Welcome on board Zozo. Please help yourself around.
You're very kind, thank you. Right, let's start with the main deck. Now there's a lot of boat to cover here, because this really is a big boat, but this is a great place to start, because this is absolutely fabulous. It's classic Sunseeker in here with the woodwork, and the way they finished it is absolutely stunning. And one of the nice things about it is these huge floor-to-ceiling windows on both sides. Now we've got boats either side of us at the moment, of course, so we're not getting the full impression of that, but you can imagine when you're out at anchor, the views that you get out of here are just tremendous. And then forward of that is a dining area. And one of the things that I like about this is this amazing chandelier that they've got above it. That is quite something. And then of course you've got dining here for up to 10 people, and I love the backdrop behind it as well. They've done that beautifully. It just looks superb. Okay, let's head on forward. Now, as you'd expect on a boat of this caliber, it's got the main deck master cabin, and it is quite a cabin. But before we get there, a couple of things to mention. One is the fact that you've got a day heads just here that people can use if you've got guests on board. And also there's some really neat crew routing on this boat, and this door here, we won't go in there just now, but that takes you through into the crew area, so they can come and go through there. But we'll come back to the crew area in a bit, because it is quite interesting. But this is the master cabin, and it is absolutely palatial. So you've got wardrobes just there, but you've also got big walk-in wardrobes, one over here and one over here. But this is the full beam of the boat, so what they've done is they've taken the side decks along the side and then up and over this area, so you get the full width of the boat in here. There's a massive TV just there, of course, and you've got this lovely desk over here as a dressing table or whatever you want to use it for, with, as you can imagine, fantastic views when you've not got boats alongside you. This is one of these dressing rooms. Look at the size of that. It's just incredible. I've seen entire cabins on boats that are smaller than that dressing room. That is really, really impressive. And then you have got your ensuite just here. Now there is a massive rainfall shower just here. You've got his and hers sinks just there. There, look at that, that's just tremendous. And then over on this side, you've got the actual toilet itself, and that is just there, like so. Okay, so we've come back out of here. So there's two doors into here. You can come in at this from either side. Back into this area just here. That's fantastic. Really nice. Okay, let's go back out of here and we'll have a look at the guest accommodation, which is on the lower deck. So that is accessed back here. There is a staircase. There's two staircases here, as you can see. The other one takes us up to the upper deck, which we will look at shortly. But let's head on down here to this lobby area. Now you've got two cabins forward. You have got, now these have got single beds in, but they've got tracks on, so you can actually slide these across. You'll see the one in this cabin, they've actually done it, and then they put a proper double mattress on the top, so you don't have the crack down the middle. It is a proper double bed when that's slid across, and you can see that the table that's between them then goes to one side, as you've got just there. These, as you'd expect, are en suite, and they've got TVs, dressing tables and so on. And the ensuite is like that, so really, really high standard. Let's come back out of there. These little fellas here, incidentally, these iPads, I should say, they control all the lighting and the entertainment systems and music, and even things like the blinds are controlled by those. Okay, let's go back across here and we'll look at the other two. Now the after two cabins, these are dedicated doubles. Colossal size. I really like the lighting in this boat. They've done a great job with it. So they've put a lot of it sort of inset into the headlining like this, which looks great. Throws a lot of light in, but it's indirect light. Now, another thing to mention in here is these have actually got their own walk-in wardrobes. It gives you some idea of the calibre of the boat when your guest cabins have got those. And of course your ensuite is through here. Really high quality. Beautiful. Really beautifully done. So that is the one of the guest cabins, and that's mirrored. Of course there's another one then as we come back here, just there, same sort of standard, and ensuite of course in the far corner. It's exactly the same, and again you can see that iPad controller down by the bed that controls everything. Cool. Okay, let's come out of here, and now we're going to go up 2 decks. So we're on the lower deck, we're going to go back up through the main deck. And this is what makes this boat a proper tri-deck super yacht, because as we head up this staircase here, it's taking us to another living deck, and a really nice one at that. So up here we have got things like, in here there's a pantry with a full-size fridge, and in fact in here there's a dumbwaiter, so that takes it directly down to the lower deck and to the galley, so that food can be moved through without having to have people going up and down steps all the time. And then there is another day heads, really nice size, just there. But this area right here, what they've done with this is they made it a rather more informal lounge area. So you've got these lovely big comfortable settees and seats just here. There's a massive TV on the wall just there, so a great area to come up and watch a movie of an evening or whatever you want to do. And then on the other side, you've got a bar in the corner just there, but also this is quite neat, they've put a desk area in here, so for people that want to do a bit of work while they're out at sea, if they're staying on a boat for a long period of time, this gives them a proper area where they can work and get on with the business of business. But this leads straight out to the aft deck dining area. There's these huge doors here that open really wide, and that really connects these two areas. And then you've got this massive table out here and another bar area just here. And what they've done with this area is they've brought the overhang all the way back to the back of the table. So you've got plenty of shade out here, but then you've got these areas out in the sunshine at the back just here. And in fact what you can do is there is a awning that extends electrically out of here, so you can bring this all the way out. So if you're in really hot weather and you want to be able to shade this area, you can certainly do it. But of course this isn't the main outside sunshine area, because there is a sun deck up above this. This boat goes on and on. So if we head up this stairway over here, this is the sun deck, and this is a fabulous area. So there is a big bimini top just there, but then it's open at the back, so you've got these wonderful sunbeds at the back just here, completely out in the open. And then you've got another great social area just here. Some of it's in the sunshine, some of it's in the shade, but actually again you've got a power awning that comes out of here, so if you want to shade this whole area you can do. And then again another bar area, so this can be completely catered for, totally separate of everywhere else. And what's really nice is this jacuzzi at the front here with these fabulous views straight out here. And what I really like is that unlike a lot of these sorts of boats, they haven't taken the jacuzzi right to the front. They've actually put a walkway around it. So if you're cruising along or you're in port like this and you want to come here and stand at the front, you don't have to scramble over the cushions. You can walk right to the front of the boat here, or to the front of this deck, and look out over the front like that. Good morning, Cannes. Absolutely stunning. Okay, we're going to have a look at that area now, and then we're going to have a look at the crew areas and the business end where you drive the boat from. So we're going to head on back from here, back across this sun deck, and back down these steps just here. Now you'll notice as well, obviously we came up through the accommodation, but there's another stairway just here, and that connects this directly down to that aft cockpit just there. So you can connect these areas without having to go through the boat. But we're going to go back into here and we're going to head forward. Again, you get a real sense of the size that you've got in here. This is a lovely, comfortable area. Okay, let's head on through here. And this takes us up to the bridge. But we're not going to look at the bridge straight away. We're going to have a look at the outside fore deck area, because that's worth having a look at, but we will come back to this in just a moment. So we're back out to here. Now this is where the side decks are raised up. So you've got lower decks just there, and then these steps bring you up, and that is what takes you above the master cabin. And that's what gives that the full beam. And it works brilliantly, because what you've got up here then is there is a rescue dinghy tucked away underneath there. That's separate from the tender garage, which we'll also have a look at. And then you've got this great dinette at the front of the boat just here. So if you're berth stern to, as we are at the moment, you're against the quay and you want to have the view out over the front of the boat, or you want a bit more privacy, or just to use it as a different living area on the outside of the boat, you've got that to use, and it works fantastically well. And that is completely separate to the fore deck. So the fore deck is down on this lower area just here. And down here, this is a working area, so you've got your winches and your cleats and everything that you need to manage this end of the boat. In fact, down underneath there is a massive storage area that drops down, so all your warps and that kind of thing, fenders, so on, can be tucked away down there out of the way and easily got at. But anyway, we'll come back from here and let's go and have a look at that bridge, because that is worth seeing. So we're back through here again. You can see that big sunbathing area on the front there. Back down this side, and this will give us access to the bridge. Similar arrangement on this side. You've got the side decks there that take you down to the back of the boat on the outside. So the way they've managed the flow on this boat is brilliant. You really can move all around it without necessarily having to go through guest areas. Okay, so this is the bridge. This is the captain's domain, and in fact the captain has his own cabin up here. Again, this is a real proper super yacht touch. This is the kind of thing you get on boats that are sort of becoming almost like small ships. So he has this area. It's a really fantastic area. It is guest accommodation style rather than cruise style in terms of the woodwork and the finish. Big desk area there where he can work, and then a double bed just there, big windows, and there is an ensuite tucked away just through that door there. But of course the interesting area, as we've come back out of here, is this bridge area. This is proper little ship stuff. So there's a seating area at the back here, so if people want to come up here and watch the operation of the boat, or if you've got crew that want to join in on the ride when it's going along between ports, this is the place where people can come. But this is where you drive the boat from. Now these are all of the systems for the boat. You have got screens all the way across here, 3 screens there, and another 3 screens over there. And then down here you've got things like the ship's radios, intercoms, radar control. This incidentally will all cover up if you want it to. And then thrusters, throttles, the steering wheel, everything is just there. And then another area just here, like so. The other interesting thing to talk about up here is these monitoring systems, because the whole boat is monitored through one of these. And it gives you aspects of every element of the boat. So whatever you want to control, whether you want to monitor engines, whether you want to control windlasses, electronics, circuit breakers, a lot, it's all accessed from there. In fact, it's such an impressive system, I think we're probably going to do a separate video on that rather than try and go into it in too much depth in this one. So look out for that. But we'll carry on the tour and we'll head back for the galley and the crew areas. And again, the way that the flow around this boat works, you don't have to go through the accommodation. You can come back out through this door, back down these steps just here, like so, and this takes us into crew area. So as we go into here, we've got a pantry just here, and there's a doorway here, and what this doorway does is it takes you straight through back out to that dining area. So when the crew are catering, they've got direct access to that without having to walk straight through it. You can just come out of that door and it's right there. There's dumb waitress in here as well that takes you up to that upper deck. So when you're catering for that, again, you can just send the food straight on up. But the galley itself is through here, and this is really impressive, as of course you would expect. So you've got in here, it's all melee catering equipment, and it's doubled up. So you've got double ovens just there. There are huge double freezers at the back over there. The hob is just there. And then on this side, you have got doubled up melee professional dishwashers. You've got a microwave over there, and these are all fridges. These 4 over here, that's all the fridges for the boat. So it really can cater for the kind of people and in the style to which those people would like to be accustomed. And back here is the door to the crew cabin. So again, the crew areas flow really well. So you come into this lobby area just here. This door here, incidentally, is through onto the main deck opposite that day heads. So we walk past that on the way in. And then down here is that crew area. So as we go down here, it's a really nice crew area on this boat. There is the actual mess area just there. There's a massive TV on the wall over here. And then there is their own galley area. So they've got a combination oven and microwave. They've even got a dishwasher in here. So they can completely cater for themselves in this area. But what's great is that these cabins are fabulous. They've all ensuite. So there is a single cabin just there with its own ensuite. Then there is a double cabin just here. That's ensuite. And then as we come back, there are two more cabins, both double, both ensuite. And those are back here and over here. And the other thing that they've put in here, I mentioned that monitoring system earlier, it's mirrored down here. So the crew in here can monitor all aspects of the boat. They can even let the anchor chain in and out if they want to. If they're at anchor and it needs doing, they can monitor the CCTV. They can keep an eye on everything, all aspects of the boat. Brilliant system. As I say, we'll come back to that. But for now, we're going to head back out and we're going to head back and look at the engine space and the tender garage. So we'll come back up through here. We'll head through the galley, like so. And this is what I was saying earlier about the flow of this boat, because the crew can move around here without having to keep going through guest accommodation if they don't want to, which works very well. So we head back down this side deck. Now, one thing worth mentioning is you'll notice these bolts on these huge windows, and what these are for is you can actually put hurricane shutters on there. So if you're looking at some serious offshore work, obviously you wouldn't use them on a normal day-to-day basis, but you can close that right up if you want to and protect those windows. So if you're in serious storm conditions, the boat can handle it. So this opens like so, and this takes us down to the engineering area. So we have got steps just here. And we'll head back first to here, because all of the circuit breakers, all the electronics, everything are down here, but also tucked away at the back is the laundry. Again, it's melee equipment, it's doubled up, so you've got washing machines there, twin, and twin dryers down there. The other thing that you've got in here, incidentally, is access through to the tender garage, which is just there. But we won't go in there for the minute because we're going to open up the back of the boat and look at that properly at the end of the tour. So let's head back this way and have a look at those engines. So as you'd imagine, it's full height walk-in engine room. And these are the motors here. Now these are 12V 4000M 93 engines. They are 2,340 horsepower each. And they're going to give the boat speeds in excess of 20 knots. It's a properly fast boat. But actually with the extended fuel tank, which this one has got, you've also got a range that takes you past 1,500 miles according to Sunseeker. So it covers both ends of the envelope. You've got performance up towards the mid 20 knot speeds flat out, but you've also got the range if you drop the speed back. So this boat can cover both aspects, cover distance or reduce time. These engines are absolutely enormous. I mean, they are, well, they're more than waist height. They're almost shoulder height. And look at the size of the turbos on here. I mean, this is proper serious engineering on here. Your generators are at the back. So there's a generator tucked away down there. And there's another generator just down over beneath here. And then there's a pump room at the back just here. And it's worth mentioning that all of these generators and engines have got power takeoffs. So things like your hydraulics for your anchor windlasses and for your stabilizers can all run off of any of these engines or generators. So even in the event of a failure of one of them, you've still got total control over everything. Also, this boat has got chilled water air conditioning. So this sends chilled liquid around the boat that then goes to air handlers to give the air conditioning on the boat. And in fact, this engine room itself has its own separate air conditioning if it's needed. Anyway, that's that area. Let's head back out and have a look at the tender garage. So we're back out onto that side deck. We'll have a quick look at this area because we've skipped through here fairly quickly. But this is your main deck aft area. It's fully shaded because the upper deck comes right to the back. So you've got plenty of shade here, but plenty of light and plenty of ventilation. Makes this a really nice area when you're at anchor. And then back here, this brings us down to the tender garage, which the crew have very kindly opened for me. And in here live the Williams diesel jet tender. That's a 565. It's a really good size. Let's head on in and you can see for yourself. That's a proper big tender in there. And there's also a jet ski. The jet ski lives over here. It's a Sea-Doo, and that tucks away down the side just there. Now these come out on tracks. They come out to this area just here, and this lowers hydraulically, so it allows these to be dropped in, but also it means that you can drop this in and use it almost like a sort of a small paddling pool or swimming pool if you've got kids on the boat. It means you've got access to the water, but with a deck just under the water. So that is about it. That is a Sunseeker 131 yacht. It's an absolutely magnificent piece of kit, and it's been a real honour to be able to have a look around it. Hope you've enjoyed the tour. Please click like and subscribe if you have. See you again. Bye-bye.